Hello, free enterprise fans. Welcome to Randomania and I can't believe we're in round 4
I know, but am
of.
I allowed to look yet?
Wait, hold on. Who are you? Hold on. Hi, I'm Martin, by the way. Say hello to new and improved Antidale version 2.
I'm Antidale version 2.2 or 2.0, aka the slower one. I'm like Kanatsu at a slow spot.
So,
But
unfortunately, we don't currently know where Antidale is. I heard there was something involving a squeal, a spoon, and now I've got Asuka in the booth with me. So this is fantastic.
And it's Best Boy!
I probably should have warned everyone about the audio. I apologize. So,
And it's my
warning.
favorite spray.
Yeah, squeals may be louder than they appear, so just letting you all know. Take care of it. But hey, we got a great race. We are in, I can't call it win or go home territory because ties can occur, as
This
we
is
have
true.
seen during this. But actual JP and Neon, both 1 and 2. If this does not end in a tie, unfortunately, one of these two racers will be going home tonight.
Yeah, this is gonna be a big match for both of them. And looking at those objectives, I mean, you have one that's the freest of free bosses. Then you have leg, which
And
it could be a weak leg or it could be leg day.
oh, we want to see leg in all the wrong spots in this seed. We love a high-powered leg. So yeah, no, this is going to be a great race. Obviously, we start with a certain, well, we start with that one.
We get a Best Boy! It is Edward time!
So all whopping 60 HP of Edward, i.e., hey, guess what? The runners are probably looking at that second character like, please be something. Please be anything right now. I don't know what.
Eddie starts with a dancing dagger, then Eddie's gonna be going burn for a while. And
That could be a thing. That could be a thing. Dancing Dagger does qualify as the starting item for Ed. So
soon. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I would not worry about physical firepower if, yes, we started with a spoon on this seed. So
I also would worry about your ears, though.
You might want to turn it down, folks. I'm just saying. Because guess what? We're underway in about 7 seconds. This may get really loud.
Okay, so we have a Best Boy, and
we have a Best Boy, and that's about it.
We only have one character. I mean, it's no.
That was so close. It started with an S. It was close.
I got so excited because it looked like it too.
I mean, it does make Porum a little bit useful at the beginning. It is a nice bonk staff, so I'm not against it.
And killing Z.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, yeah, so the beginning, obviously, we have Ed. We have a character not named Ed. We have a stick. It's not the easiest of starts in this game. So we may see some divergence immediately on where we're going.
Right, so. Yeah. If I was our runners, I would definitely check to see what, honestly, what Eddie's equipped with first and foremost, because that's going to make a big difference. You're going to shop and see Odin summon for a character also not named Edward.
Yeah, unfortunately today, folks, today is Tuesday. It could be Wednesday in some parts of the world, so restock may have not happened yet. It's a terrible shop.
That's hilarious.
Come back on Friday. That's usually when the toilet paper gets, resolved and some other, important items to find. So,
speaking of fun, we have found our alt gauntlet. They are babysitting a quack kid. That could be interesting.
That's not. I would not be surprised to see one of the runners possibly check that early, especially with that first fight. It's not terrible. Unfortunately, you will, time-wise, you're probably going to want some style of J item, maybe to get through that fight a little bit faster.
Oh, absolutely. And the only downside, though, is that second spot can be devastating. Like, if that's a wyvern. Ooh, that's such a time loss.
Yeah, it's 4,000 HP of we're hoping for something very kind. Usually it's not. So your party better be ready for that one.
Yeah, would you rather see Alt Gauntlet in the first position or the second position? I kind of prefer because I'm mean.
I'm a fan of the first position, mainly because, you know what, if you're going to suffer that gauntlet, you probably deserve to suffer what comes right after it too. So,
fair.
And hopefully your party is ready for it, because if it isn't, unfortunately, folks, time does move in one direction, and you will be costing yourself quite a bit of it.
Is true, and unfortunately we did find out that Eddie does not have the dancing dagger. It's great bow and Medusa arrows, so if you're really good with those Medusa arrows and timing, cool. But if you're boss hunting and you don't find a free boss, they're arrows with a
They shoot, they do damage sometimes, maybe.
There are things that
So looks like we got our first trip up Hobbs here, and well, okay, that's an old man.
That's an old man, and it's a
orb.
It's orbs. It's a pretty straightforward scripted fight. It's just, would you wanna take the time right now, with knowing that Tella's there, to actually do this fight?
You know, okay, so here's the thing about Tella. Tella early game is fantastic for a couple of reasons. One, you have access to exit, which for any check will make life a little bit, quicker for you. Big one for me, obviously having access to Cure 2 and having Blink right out of the gate is a very wonderful thing to have. And I mean, let's face it, he's got 5 times the HP of Edward right now. So anything at that point is better. So yes, I'm okay with this play.
It would be nice if, I don't know, Porum wasn't hard carrying right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, we won't talk about the physical damage here, and well, we might be a little bit lacking in that department. That's okay though. We'll pick it up. The idea of this seed, as it sits right now, and Osco will obviously agree with me, is once we're Spoon online, things get really interesting really fast. So we're hoping for an early Spoon.
That is if we can find a Spoon fast enough. I mean,
yes.
Eddie, I love him. He is the greatest, but he's glass cannon, and you're going to be coming across character checks that you might get some really good characters, and well, most people will just ditch the Eddie.
Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely true. So,
I mean,
obviously, we know your feelings towards Ed. Mine, on the other hand, I'm not against Ed. I'm not. It's if you get him enough, if you get him enough HP to survive a nerf Big Bang from Z, yeah, I'll keep him, because guess the amount of damage he puts out with a Spoon is absolutely ludicrous. So he may be a low HP damage dealer, but boy, can he hit hard with that Spoon.
There is a decent amount of equipment that he can equip to give him a little bit more, well, survivability. I use the term very lightly, but yeah, if you can't find, there's 2 characters that aren't going to be in this seed, guaranteed. If those characters are, say, like Kane and Cecil, which I believe has either happened or just people haven't come across them, well, he's gonna be actually the main damage dealer.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing on Neon Sign a quick check. Usually you don't see this. Doing the backup Hobbs early, it's a bit out of the way. It's a long walk out unless you have the exit bot, otherwise known as Tella. So you get a very quick exit out of this place and some very nice tier chests, which rewarded with a crystal ring, which is a wonderful piece of early gear to have. So,
and especially with correct me if I'm wrong, but usually for the overworld checks to begin, you actually kind of want a fast anchor because of that witchcraft called relative agility, which, if you want to explain, I'm not going to stop you, because I'll just say it's witchcraft.
It's black magic for a reason. Easiest way to sum it up, let's just say for most spots, 98% of spots on the overworld, you want the character in the middle to be really, really fast. Once you get to the underworld or the moon, the rules change. Then you want the really, really slow character in the middle. So that's usually the best way. There are a couple exceptions of that rule, but for the most part, that's going to be how it works. So keep an eye on that center character. Obviously, right now we have a Porum with a bonk staff. That will change as the seed goes on, depending on what boss you're fighting and where you're at. So
We do see something very interesting on Neon's side. They're actually looting from the back to front of Water Pass, but that Silk Web is a really nice find later on for Z. That's going to be a very good way to slow down that annoying little final boss they have to deal with at the end.
Yeah, definitely an item worth finding when you're doing shops, given however many shops you may check during a seed. Silk webs are not exactly guaranteed to be in a shop. So finding a random one that you can sit there and just kind of put in the back pocket and be like, I'm going to save this for the final fight can make such a huge difference in that fight.
You know what else makes such a huge difference in any fight?
What's that?
That would be that Stardust Rod that Neon just picked up.
I hear those do things.
I hear that I tend to forget that those do things.
They not only is it a great stat stick, folks, but yes, using it as an item, it'll bring a planet down on you. It does Comet, and Comet is a wonderful little area spell that will get you through the overworld in not a lot of time. So
make the argument of Telegober.
Yeah, I would say, as we like to joke about, it's not so much that, hey, Tella's got a weapon. It's more like, no, Tella is a vessel for the Stardust Rod. He's just there. The Stardust Rod kind of wields him, not the other way around. So,
meanwhile, actual JP definitely did not want to be left alone. He has validated the seed by finding a Drain Spear in, well, the most common chest. They also found a Charm Claw. What do you think about Charm Claws?
Charm Claws are a very sore subject in certain parts of the community. We won't name where. They are notoriously inaccurate, and they also give you a +3 agility. So you kind of have to be careful in case you run across, I don't know, you find a Yang maybe that, comes with one equipped and maybe you don't realize it, and sometimes just bad things happen, but that's the story for another time.
Charm and Cat are the same thing, but Heroine Robe though, the Heroine Robe on JP, that is a very good pickup for
so we were talking about Spoon and Edward. I don't think we really need to worry about that now that we've got a Heroine Robe Porum with a bonk stick. So keep an eye on Porum here. You're going to see some fun and some very large numbers coming out of the kid.
She's just going to have the biggest smile on her face and she's bonk. As you can tell by that, 400 additional points of damage from Porum right there.
Never underestimate the power of a Heroine Robe. I tell you, it kills your stats to the point that, a white mage is no longer a white mage, but they are really good, and that is also really good.
That is a character and a hopefully very evil path underground, because again, race.
I mean, obviously, we in the booth up here, we can't root for either racer. That wouldn't be nice. But we can root for Team Free Enterprise. And that means, of course, we want a hook route. We always want a hook route. So.
And plus, it is another character. It's a gated character, so we might get a little bit better choices depending on who you ask. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. And JP is immediately taking that hook route. You get the gated character, the gated shops. We might start seeing some sirens.
Yep.
We'll see.
Not to spoil anything, but you could see another Edward too. That is possible. Yeah.
It could be a double bard.
Could. Great thing about JP's side, finding the trap chest very early. There is only one in the hook route. Once you find that one, everything else is fair game. And this is some of the better tier loot you can find during the game. So don't be very surprised when you see JP start opening everything. Speaking
of sirens, also apparently that monster check was blocking the other chest that had the lightsaber. So Cecil has a nice weapon if he decides to show up. But what we're watching right now is called a fire sale because sirens and the grind have been found.
Yes. And do I blame a racer for doing this? Not at all.
Nope.
You work on the assumption that, okay, your first time through hook route, you're grabbing the character. The reality is you're not really hoping that you have to do the hook route to get underground, but you like to get out of the way. Because they're on hook route, they will take extra time to come back and get later. So if you can afford the 10, 13 that you might need for the entire run, you buy them now. You just don't worry about it later. So.
And plus with exit, I mean, Telma here, I mean, we can check the character, we can see who's in the ruby spot, and then if that character happens to be a Cecil, it's team mount ordeals in a heartbeat, unless you're certain Martin or I mean, just somebody that's not named Martin, but also doing comms with me and decides to take a DKC into Zeromus.
I mean, you know, hey, DKC, he's a treat. You know, anytime you can take him a Z, it's a good day.
I saw those stats. That was terrifying.
It can happen. It's rare, but it's a thing. The other big thing, obviously, well, so about selling those claws. Yeah. We'll talk about the boss here in a second, but hey, guess what? That's a Yang. That's our punch mage.
I wonder what he has equipped.
I'm afraid to even ask. I'm afraid. I honestly might be afraid to look. But let's get back to that whole exit thing. There's nothing worse than coming in here. Yeah, it's a character. Great. The loot. Fantastic. Sirens. Great. And then you have to walk the entire way out. It takes a while. So this is a beautiful thing. Having access to exit, whether it's via an item or via tele, it's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, it's a pretty charming feeling. Just like Neon decided to completely buy out all the charm arrows in the Evelyn Caves.
I mean, I'm not against it. It's a high-powered arrow. You know, you're not guaranteed to find mute arrows at all, and you know, depending on the amount of looting you're doing, you may not find anything better. So if you're planning on keeping that, let's say example, on Edward, that's kind of one of those, you just set it and you're done for the entire game. Like, Ed's not going to get anything better.
Yeah,
now that,
as seen on TV commercial.
I was going to say set it and forget it, but I did copyright infringement. I didn't want to go down that road. Interesting decision on JP's side though. Goes into a shop, sees a Thunderclaw for sale, does not purchase one, even though he's got a punch mage.
I kind of want to see a Leviathan here.
Yeah, that's an interesting
And the survey says,
well, that's just a dark elf with a complex, so that's fine.
Yeah, I'll just kind of he'll have to be angry, be changed, and
But, yeah, it looks like. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna start a whole other tangential thought. So.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Neon's now seeing that wonderful mom bomb on hook route. That's to go back to that real quick. That's not gonna be a really pleasant hook route. That is 25,000 HP of bomb, plus another 9,000 on top of that. If you want to take care of killing it before it explodes on you. And then you get to deal with the little bombs, where the gray bombs have the same power as mom bombs. So that can get to be a very interesting fight. The good part is we have a Quack Kid available, so it shouldn't be too terrible, but it's still not the boss you want to see on that route.
So, unfortunately, first off, see, this is why you're the smart person tonight, because I would ask about that.
Oh.
You are SMRT levels of smart.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I was joking.
I
anyway,
can spell.
So Yang did have a Thunderclaw.
Oh,
so,
nice.
JP lucked out on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Tybalt's not around to influence the Yang. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Could be a thing.
Either that or Tybalt's just kind of glaring at us from...
That would not surprise me either. Oh, never mind. Found him. Okay, moving on. Hey, Fabul Defense is done.
Yeah,
what's our prize? Hey, it's a pan.
It's time for food.
You know, them cast iron pans. I'm amazed with how many times we've whacked Yang with that thing. I'm amazed he's still standing.
Please lying down.
That's fair. I'll allow it.
Concussions aren't good, and we're horrible people.
Yeah, not at all.
But yeah, it is kind of funny to see the pan coming out of the Fabul defense, because there is a school of people that will try to fade Fabul until they get the pan, so they can trip Fabul. seeing that the pan is there, well, they're going to be fading it for a while.
Yeah, right.
Well, so JP's actually doing some shopping still. What do you, or at least maybe item checking? I mean, at this point, you've got a Stardust Rod, you've got your Sirens. Are there things you're looking for in these non-gated shops still, or is it just kind of filling out what you need?
I mean, camping gear is always a nice thing. You know, there's nothing worse than, you know, trying to do something and find out you have one tent when you're, you know, on the moon and trying to figure out how you're going to heal your party. Possibly maybe a different elemental claw. I mean, thunder will get you so far, but there still are plenty of bosses that don't like ice or fire. So having one of those. Also, a cursed ring for sale in the shop.
That's fire sale number 2.
That's cursed ring is a very interesting conversation. Obviously, you love having one. You know, you want to find one during the run. I wouldn't say it's something that you check every armor shop in the world to find, but it basically prevents you from having to worry about your anchor situation. So you don't have to worry about leaving Rydia dead on the ground or leaving Ed as a puddle or anything of that nature. It's with that cursed ring and the -15 agility, you can put whoever you want in the middle and you're going to be just fine for the entire game.
Fair point. And to those in chat making those puns, please don't try to fry our brains with those pan puns. So, mount ordeals.
Ordeals. Let's see. Okay, this is I like the decision from JP. This is a really good tier loot here, and the chests are kind of on the way up anyway, so of course you want to open them.
Plus, that Stardust Stella is going to get some spells pretty soon, hopefully.
Also, great thing, 3 bosses here. So, possibility that, yes, you know, Leg or King Queen Evelyn may be up here. Obviously, because we're all Team Free Enterprise, we hope neither of them are up here. But, you know, hey.
I'm totally fine with a King Queen on the Giant. And then Ruby at... Oh, what would be the worst spot for Ruby?
Would you like me to go down the list? Because there's a few. The big one is Ogopogo. You want nothing to do with Ruby at Ogopogo. That spot is terrifying on levels I cannot describe.
That being said, looking
well, that just shortened our list by everything. So, hooray.
Was it Leg, though? Because I don't...
Unfortunately, this spot doesn't exactly have magic power, so yeah, Leg here, not very terrifying. I'm a little saddened, but it is an objective for the runners, though, so they're obviously very happy.
Would the glance even kill them?
The glare? It's still enough that, yes, it will probably one-shot someone, but we're talking at the level of like 500-600 damage, and not quad 9s because there's a damage limit. Otherwise, it would say like 32,000.
It just turns into
yeah, it could happen.
So with that, we have our very first objective, and
hey, speaking of DKC, well, hello there.
Unlike some people, that DKC doesn't fade ordeals.
Hey, you know. If anybody would like to talk offline, you know, post-stream, I can give you all the stats on DKC at level 47. You know, when you're going to Z with, I can tell you how much agility, and oh yeah, it's a great time.
What, did you at least have the black sword?
Of course I did.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I wondered what level of lost your mind you were at that time.
Oh no, we were fine. And speaking of not losing your mind, Neon, that's a big brain play right there, reviving Ed. There is a very small window from that third dark wave going off to being able to use an item. And obviously you want the experience from this fight. So yeah, getting Ed up, that's a very good thing.
Also, you were effectively called classy in chat.
That is a filthy lie, but I
don't
appreciate
think
it.
They know you very well, Martin. That's like calling me a speedy player at this game.
Oh, stop.
Alright, so Neon is about to show us what our key item is and who is defending it in the crystalish room. is...
Well, we see the item first. Uh-oh.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Well!
So, about that hook route.
Oh, wow!
Well. And look at the... Oh!
We've got someplace to be right now.
Well! So, ladies and gentlemen, we are well on our way to a jet seat here.
Basically, once I stepped in to back up, like, we can't deal with this. This comms partner needs to go away.
You know, Leonhardt brings up a valid point here about fading ordeals. This is gonna sound weird, and yes, you may quote me later for this, but I think Tella may be the most important part of this party right now.
Oh,
because I feel like if you didn't have Tella, you wouldn't be checking ordeals.
And honestly, especially since we don't have that Palom, a Stardust Rod Tella.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
So, this is gonna get really interesting really fast.
Yeah, that's probably going to the moon before we go to the hook route.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Let's while JP's here in inventory land, I didn't see anything entirely amazingly useful for moon shenanigans. What do we know so far? There is a Quack Kid. Quack Kid is in Baron Inn.
Quack Kid's being babysat by the Alt Gauntlet and unknown one who's getting Cherry Coke.
Hook route, probably not really going to matter. Now that we have moon access, that's going to take care of a few problems. Sirens are available. So what do we do here? I have an idea. And it's a great idea. I'm a fan of this idea.
I would take Tella out of the center because Neon, I believe Neon was the one that found the curse ring.
Yes.
Yeah. I would take Tella out of the center and do some shenanigans.
Yeah, you know, we always talk about the overworld and, you know, speed actually mattering here. I like this idea if I'm a runner right now. Based on what I know from the seed, I go to the moon. I go to the moon right now. That's technically a lie. I launched the whale. I checked Mysidia item shop. I'm looking specifically for mute bells. I'm trying to find those. If I don't find them, I'm okay. I go to the moon. I go say hi to the naming ways. I see if hourglasses or mute bells are up there. And I check the character. Because at that point, we now have an XP grind online on the moon.
Are there any bosses that, unfortunately, since King Queen's gone, you can't find a really cheeky King Queen spot on the moon?
No.
Are there any bosses that, at this level, they could potentially cheek their way out of? Like, I'm kind of looking at Evil Wall right now with that Edward.
Yeah. The wall's an interesting beast of its own, mainly because of how that fight works with Ed. The wall may not do enough damage to itself to kill it, so that may be a problem. You get a little bit cheeky with Odin. Obviously, with an Ed, that is possible. Boss-wise, though, what I would be looking like maybe Officer and Soldiers. The Baron Guards would be good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because right now Tella has access to his full, you know, repertoire of spells, and that does include Weak, Stone, you know, some of the more insta-kill friendly ones. So,
sure enough, Neon definitely took the hint, and what is in that shop? And well,
those are useful.
Those are very useful.
Yeah, those could come in handy.
This definitely looks like a Fire Sale, the Neon Gray edition.
So this does set up. I haven't looked at Porum's spell list. I'm liking how this sets up on Neon side, because Neon obviously got the curse ring too. So you do have a flat anchor at this point. You have a white mage, you have access to mute. I go test my luck with warlocks on floor 4 of the LST.
Okay.
So I have a way to shut the warlocks down. I have Tella to do damage via whatever spell I may use. I have life potions. you're going to get 15 to 20 levels off that first fight. I do one of those and kind of gauge where I'm going to go from there. We'll see if the runners do it. It's an interesting way of looking at this, but it is possible.
Makes sense.
So, but a lot of it also comes down to this 5th character that we're about to see here in about 8 seconds.
I'm going to say I'm going to say Cecil. You know, I kind of want to see Fu.
I mean, nobody well, people do turn down a Cecil. That is a mop. That is a mop. That's a very vanilla mop right there.
That vastly changes a lot of things.
Yep. Now, it is not a fully online mop, so let's teach y'all. Let's educate about mop.
Oh, hey,
you notice,
Professor Martin.
All right, mop does not have 1900 HP. So we do not play vanilla Fu in this game. We start with base Fu and you level him up. The way you level him up, you kill bosses in the game. Every boss gives you another 100 HP and gives you 3 more spells. So the catch is you don't know which 3 spells until you kind of look and see, okay, well, I've got Cure 3, I've got Mute, that's a big one. Stop is wonderful. You've got a level 3 in Fire and Lit. I mean, this isn't a bad loadout for Fu. Obviously, you want to see Nuke, Quack, all the big ones. They tend to be more heavily weighted towards the end of the spectrum. You can find them early. It's rare, but it can be done. The rough part of this is you haven't killed enough bosses, so your spell list is a bit thin right now. So,
and putting Fu into the center. Why would they do that?
A couple different reasons. Fu's agility doesn't ever really change, per se. He is always a constant 20 agility. So you can operate him a couple different ways depending on what you're doing. We're probably maybe about to see Neon do one of them. But a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll weight characters around Fu with a curse ring. You drop Fu down to 5 agility with a curse ring. You now have your anchor for the entire game and don't have to worry about levels or any of that. His spell power doesn't take too huge of a hit, and you balance it out with a Stardust Rod. So he's going to be doing Fu levels of damage regardless. But now you have a solid anchor in place, and now you can build your party around that.
And because I'm totally going to lean into the bit here, but Professor Martin, when you get
I did.
That is your own fault.
So can I be Professor here and say I like what Neon's doing? It's almost like I saw this coming.
That's because you are smart and know what you're doing. You're okay at free enterprise.
Did anybody clip that, by the way? I need to hear this more often. Okay, we're good.
So, Professor Martin.
Yes.
I'm gonna fail out of this class. So if you have things like the Alt Gauntlet or Dr. Luge or multi-stage fights, you get Fu, or does Fu get spells after every single stage, or is it one and done?
No, it is every boss fight, regardless of how many stages. The exception is because the Alt Gauntlet, it may be 5 fights, but is considered one boss. Same thing with Dr. Luge, even though it's 2 forms, it's still one boss. But when you get into fights that have 2 stages, for example, like Dwarf Castle 1 and 2, anything that's like kind of a back-to-back, you do get spells right after each fight, so. But yeah, it looks like Neon, unfortunately, that first attempt at Warlocks did not end so well. I'm guessing we're going to see a round 2.
I'm also guessing we're going to see an Alt Gauntlet grind going on with actual JP.
For a Quack Kid, I'm all for it. I mean, getting that amount of damage, we call him the Quack Kid for a reason. Virus at level 19, Quack at level 23. So the sooner you get that one online, your damage output goes up considerably. So,
though looking at that party, I hate to say it, I can kind of see who JP might be getting rid of. Unless unless JP wants to fill the empty top spot that doesn't have a character.
My only issue with that, and unfortunately
Heroine
for
robe?
you, yeah, when you have access to a heroine robe, you try to keep the character that can wear it. So
What? Hashtag let Eddie wear the heroine robe and the tiara.
So we're seeing a fun little way to kill warlocks, by the way.
And a fool, apparently.
Also, applause to Neon for the leap of faith there. Tella is notoriously inaccurate when Tella is not in the center spot. So having that stone actually fire was amazing. And as y'all saw, 51,000 experience from that. So
that is going to help amazingly.
Yeah, usually what it is, that first fight when you come up to the moon and you grab that, the rest of it becomes that much easier. It's just getting through that first one sometimes can be a bit rough.
And you remember to heal up your party. Not that I've done that.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep. The other big one is because you just gained a ton of levels, your agility situation is now kind of funny. So, and these warlocks do not mess around. So, we may be in for a kind of interesting time here.
Yeah, especially with that Tella going down, that's not good.
Yeah. These warlocks, their spell power is like not exactly to be trifled with. They can and will usually love targeting a single character 3 times. So everybody here is kind of at risk of dying immediately. Getting a mute off or a mute bell is usually the easiest way to shut these guys down.
Neon, you have mute. You have mute. So Drain does the HP damage and Psych does the MP damage, correct? Gotcha. Oh no. I don't think Neon saved. Oh.
Tella 2 for 2 on Stone. Wow.
Tella life.
You know,
look at that smug dance right there.
I'm telling you, Tella. I've ran
you're
enough of these seeds.
You're telling us.
No, you're not. No. The puns are for the chat. They're not for the booth. I've ran enough seeds of these, and I've had Tella fade some mega nukes right to his face. I don't underestimate Tella's abilities at all anymore. The old man knows his stuff.
He was so proud of himself when he got to shine in 3 Mists when Fu was doing Fu things.
Yeah, that's true. The one bad thing, unfortunately, about this, we talk about life glitching a bit and how you can get extra experience because of how vitality works in this game and everything. Unfortunately, when you stone an enemy, you don't get access to that. So the 51,000 we're getting here from these could be a lot better in the scheme of things, but not having access to Quake or anything that can kind of, get through these in a timely manner, stone is not a bad play. It's just going to take more of them to get your characters basically up to whatever level you're aiming for. So
now I will say that the Baron Inn definitely was not following social distancing rules. So that was the officer and soldiers that were in the second spot, and Fu now has Quack.
Yeah, so Ice 3, Virus, and Quack. What a nice little combo of spells.
Yeah. So, and a tower key. So no keyless tower Dream, so my apologies. But oh no. Really?
Are we going 3? But that Tella. Wow.
That is a bold strategy, Cotton. Why get rid of Tella? I'm not sure, but my knowledge of the game is not as in-depth.
JP has a plan. Obviously Tella being the anchor obviously is not going to be part of it. The kid does start with a little bit lower agility. I don't know if you off Palom and make him the anchor in the future, I personally don't think so. I feel like he holds more value as a virus and Quackbot until you find a Kane, a Cecil, whatever it may be later on. So I'm curious to see where this goes. It's not going to be important yet because obviously we're still on the overworld doing things. But once we get underground or on the moon, maybe.
Fido!
Oh, Cubs brings up a very valid point. It's something that both as a racer and as a commentator, and knowing how Fu works, usually when you pick up a Fu, when you grab a Fu and you find out he doesn't have what you want as far as spells go, your objective is to get Fu online as soon as humanly possible. And that pretty much means going through the overworld and killing every minor boss you can find. So, to Chat's point, bringing up the fact that the dolls were at Mist Cave, that is an automatic kill because it gets Fu another 100 HP and 3 more spells. If one of those is nuke, you just did yourself a huge favor.
True.
So, and if not, guess what? You're now 3 spells closer to it. So, interesting choice by JP. We'll see if it works out.
Yeah, and what's really, really cheeky and interesting about having moon access is, yes, we know the, I guess, in logic, way underground is the hook route unless there's a demist somewhere on the overworld.
Mm-hmm.
If not, there could be a really, really cheeky magma key somewhere on the moon behind a fairly easy, well, there's not too many free bosses left, but a fairly easy boss to, and since we don't have to look for bosses anymore that potentially aren't demist, this could be just funny if Neon just happens to pick the right battle, the right spot, and boom, instant underground.
And happens to trip on a magma key. Yeah, that could be a thing. And I mean, I'd like to say, no, that's not possible, but we've played enough free Enterprise. It's possible. It's very possible. So
it's always in the seed that you're playing and the other player doesn't.
Yep, absolutely. So we've kind of shaded over the fact that this hook route, obviously there's a bomb waiting for us. We haven't talked a lot about the first spot.
And for all we know, it could be very explosive.
Yeah, the first spot is very unique on hook route. So in the vanilla game, it is King, Queen, Evelyn. They don't do a lot. They just sit there and, you know, they cast very small spells at you and then they kind of go away and, you know, life goes on. In this version of this, because they cast those spells, you have no idea they actually have obscenely terrifying statistics at that spot. They have high agility, they have high physical power. It is not a fun place to find an enemy at that King Queen spot. And we are literally about a half minute away from JP showing us what this first boss is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, seeing bosses like...
Picture. I see things.
I didn't do it!
I know. You're on comms for a change. We can't blame you.
That's not going to stop people.
That is sadly true, unfortunately. So
there's no spoon, and I got sad.
I know. Next time. Next time, TM.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, did you miss us?
Probably not.
Don't answer that. That was rhetorical.
No. Please love us.
Hey, so look, we're still fighting Asura though. So yeah, we didn't miss a beat. We're fantastic.
We're just some general technical difficulties. No big deal.
It happens. Look, it's the internet. Well, let's go down the list of who we can blame. The internet, namely Comcast, Twitch,
the internet,
Windows Update. That's a good one.
Awesome chewing on the cables and thought it was a
Yep.
Too many newspapers.
We've all had that issue, right? You know, missing one specific like key on your keyboard, or maybe a missing button somewhere. I mean, that's a thing.
Funding things by selling a crystal sword.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have JP back.
Well,
that boss was easy, I'm guessing.
Yeah, there was a boss there. There was. So we're just gonna assume that hey, there was a boss. The boss died. JP probably went back and saved.
At King Queen. Thank you, Leggy.
that qualifies as a easy boss, I would say.
Martin and I like having fun talking with all you, but we get the easy job today. The two people behind the scenes that are absolutely amazing are our tracker, Leggy, who did keep us up to date with everything. And no suplexes. That requires Final Fantasy VI. So anyway, hi. Leggy Starscream is doing a fantastic job tracking, and shout out to Cubsroll21 for getting the stream back up and running as quickly as possible. As someone that does restreams, restreaming can be terrifying when things are on fire. So, and Cubs is a very, very new restreamer and handled that fantastically. So please give shout outs, loves, and follows, and absolutely follow our good friend Martin Broadcloak. Nothing ever goes wrong on his stream.
Don't listen to her. That's a filthy lie.
I mean, he hasn't banned and reported me yet, so you can tell the quality bar where it is roughly.
I'm not going to disagree with that. So, but yeah, no, but yes, thank you to Leggy. Obviously, spoilers. We basically set it up so Possum is racing at the exact same time. That way he can't chew on the buttons. So Leggy probably has the easiest job out of all of us right now. So that's fantastic. Cubs, on the other hand, let's just say there's a reason why we don't let the restreamer on comms. We may have to put the NSFW tag on the stream, and things just get weird, and we don't want to deal with that. So
it's pure heck and fluff.
There you go. Exactly. So, but yeah, it looks like Neon has found what we all affectionately like to call because that's the sound you hear for most of this fight usually.
Anytime you use the fight command, Paladin goes do 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 do.
And things get really slow.
It's like that episode of Stargate SG-1 where they open up the Stargate and then there's a black hole and then everything time dilates in there and it's like time compression in Final Fantasy VIII and it's really slow and kind of funny. It reminds me of a part in Destiny 2 where there's a guardian that's trapped because it's in a time dilation bubble and hi.
This sounds like way too much effort. And also, nobody understood the whole time compression thing in 8 anyway, so that goes right out the window.
Potato.
So, unfortunately, JP's side, JP is learning... It's not learning the hard way, but yeah, those gray bombs are not to be trifled with. So, and followed immediately by, uh-oh, here comes problems. So, the question becomes, does Fu have enough HP to survive these? And the answer is sadly going to be no.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but those explodes do however much damage. It's like a kamikaze for them, however much HP is left.
Yeah, it's a percentage, but because of how the fight divides between Mom Bomb and the little minions, the minions need to die really fast. So pretty much the idea is you better have a quack or something queued up for when they come, because if you don't, that's going to happen. So
that was a very specifically rude mini bomb right there.
I was gonna say, so is this something where I can say a fight so nice we had to see it twice? I feel like the runners would not agree with me on this.
The first one was Shiny Bahamut.
Yeah.
And now watching Bomb. Because, I don't know, potato. Tat.
So, nice part about, obviously, Neon side, Paladin. Paladin is a very straightforward fight. You know, once you get blinks up and running, you're not getting touched. So at that point, you're just doing damage, or in this case, let's just throw swag rocks out. I like the style.
Things.
Now, I know some of you may be wondering, hey, Tella, how can you cast Meteor? You only have 90 MP. That's a lie. Much like many things in this game, it's very subjective. So an item called a Soma Drop fixes that problem very quickly.
And there's only 2 reasons to use Soma Drops. A, so Tella can cast Meteor.
B, give Kane 10 MP.
I was going to say give one of your mages. I'm not a heathen.
Oh.
But,
okay.
I mean, Kane is a dragon mage.
Yeah, sort of. Ish.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you need someone to steal the MP from, so, you know, it's acceptable. See, see, even the chat, thank you. See, Scala agrees with me. Give Kane MP.
Yeah, I don't mind jumping on that bandwagon for.
Yeah. I see what you did there. I'm still smiling. I'm really trying not to right now, but yes.
Am I dragging you down? Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Free Enterprise. I'm probably flying solo from here on.
Don't mind me. I'm just being quiet while I currently message everybody under the sun. Can we please find Antidale? I don't know, an extra world country or something, but yeah, go grab him. Hi, what?
Casper Tree 2. Yeah, you're stuck with the slower Antidale. Well, you know, honestly, considering how I look at, like, I mentioned the word sun and I start sunburning, that would kind of make me anti-pale, but like not anti-pale because that would mean I tan.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense.
Skull is like,
no, and to answer a question from chat, no, I'm not allowed to push the button while I'm on comms. That's been discussed. There have been messages.
That was easy button.
Right?
Kind of like we're hoping to push these bombs need to die buttons.
Yeah. The good part is you notice Ed is hidden though.
Yeah.
Ed's going to stay hidden because if this fight does not go correctly, somebody is going to live through it.
When he hid did he hide his E?
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Why did I just notice this?
I don't know what
minutes into the game.
I mean, it looks like Deadward to me. I mean, I hear that may be a nickname for him.
Like he was hiding.
Note from chat here. JP made reference to that earlier. Said Edward didn't deserve the E. Wow.
Aww.
Ouch.
And here
That's
he
harsh.
is using Edward. Let's see if he. Not
wow.
only did not check the Martin chest.
Well, not only that,
it's a
didn't
guaranteed
check
crystal
the boss either.
I know. I also like to live dangerously. That's why I decided to help out and team up with you tonight.
I mean, you know, somebody had to volunteer, right? They couldn't leave me in here by myself.
Volunteer, sacrifice themselves. It's one and the same.
I mean, you know, falling on a sword or, you know, anyways, moving on.
We're selling it. So, Underground, 52 minutes in.
Yeah.
Where do we go? Do you pan immediately or do you Fey March immediately?
Oh, that's where obviously you have the pan, you go take a swipe at Yang immediately. You have the pan. Usually your routing has a lot to do. Hello.
Yeah, that's value.
I'm sorry, I just got distracted by shinies.
You mean the tail?
The Baron Key.
That's
Yep.
gross.
Yep. Those are very wonderful items to have. So that is
a guaranteed objective completion.
That is a lunar spot very worth checking out. So
and that's why a lot of people will go bottom up that particular spot. It's the one spot dealer altar that has 2 free checks once you can the probably not free boss. Speaking of free checks, though, we are going the pan route, so we're going to see what happens if you bop Punch Mage with a pan. Well, I mean,
that's
pretty.
Not a reward. Yeah. I feel like they could have done better.
Yeah, like a sellable item.
Yeah, or I don't know, a usable item, a spoon, something. Hey, but we're getting a visit at the dwarf toilet, though.
Hey, and why do we get our health back?
Don't ask. It's what's in the Hey, so speaking of rude bosses to find at Ogopogo, here's one.
Is the magic power that strong here? Is this just like every stat set to yes?
Yeah. You are going to see limit break. Yeah. You're going to see quad 9 lit 3s. You're going to see 4,000 plus HP fire 2. It's ugly. This is not a spot to be trifled with.
But here's what's interesting. Eddie and Porum did not get the hold gas. So let's hope that Shadow does not hit those 2.
Ironically, a couple of items both of which Neon has. One of them is the heroin robe. The other one is the crystal ring. So you know exactly who has what on. Oh, bye, Ed. Bye, Ed.
Well,
that's bad.
That's rude.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 50-50 game. We've all played it.
Welcome to Boardface AI, the game.
Yeah. You have a 50-50 shot of this first spell hitting the character you don't want it to. You have enough time to get a veil off. Other than that, you are dead.
I love it. I love it.
And in this case, unfortunately, because agility is a bad thing, you are dead anyways and don't get a turn.
That was very shocking at the end then.
Cut out before we saw the damage, but I promise you all it was quad 9s. So
old man yelled at Cloud for living. Nice.
So this is a thing.
This is a
thing.
Boy.
This is what happens when you use the siren right outside the save room.
You know,
this is fun.
And for the record, chat, all of us have made this mistake. I've made this probably the most because I'm #bad. If you use a siren, never use the siren in a doorway.
I hear that doesn't end well.
It ends. Nothing happens. You've wasted a siren. You literally have dropped the egg, and it you can't eat it. You can't cook it. You can't XP off of it. You can't level up.
Have you ever done the airship trick with a siren before?
No.
Oh, it's about the same effect actually. If you use the siren and somehow you hit the A button on the exact frame you come out of the siren, while you're on top of the airship, you launch the airship and the siren never goes off.
So to quote the one song, that was awesome!
Yeah, until it was like your last siren and you needed it to get the Quack Kid to nuke and you're just regretting life afterwards. It's terrible.
I mean, that's you doing comms with me right now, so also known as, like, a Tuesday.
I'm having a great time here. I think Chat's having a great time, even though they're busy bombarding us with puns. But, you know, it's a day that ends in Y. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. What I'm not okay with is the unknown free chest.
Ah, right? It's free. It's there. It's just waiting. Although, speaking of free, though, hey, look, we're getting take 2 on a certain fellow. Let's see how this plays out.
Hey!
So
Professor Martin!
Hi.
Why did Neon do that?
So, you remember how we were talking about that heroin robe and the crystal ring preventing the whole paralysis thing coming out?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're not going to get paralyzed. Great. All right, well, Shadow's still going to come out and try to eat people until you're down to 2 characters. I'm already at 2 characters.
No, you're at 1. You have Eddie.
Well, I mean, okay, fine. There's displacement of volume occurring in the other spot. Needless to say, Shadow's like, well, I'm full. I'll just leave. So, but because both your characters got turns, hey, guess what? Your star veils are up. So Golbez is about to have a very bad day.
Oh, okay, correct it. Ooh, that's interesting. In the Fey March, the king and queen of the Town of Monsters will be played by the Megan sisters. Oh, that's 3 and 3.
That is.
That math actually checks out for once.
Also, lesson number 5 of playing Free Enterprise, please always heal before a boss fight. I hear that does work sometimes.
Lies and slander, and you're right.
Not that I know that from experience or anything, but that's okay.
Fair. So, with Golbez,
yes.
Do you have to, like, can you just sit there and let Golbez kill himself, or do you have to actually attack him?
Theoretically, yes. Golbez does have an amount of HP that once he hits it, he will kill himself. Nobody usually ever wants to sit through it long enough. So once you hit the target HP for this spot, which is 37,000, if you bonk him once, he'll be like, but why? And run away. So.
But is he bravely running away, like Edward bravely.
You know, I feel like with that nice little, you know, cloak and everything, I don't think he really can tell. He might just float away.
I picture Golbez as the Sailor Moon meme where Tuxedo Mask says, "My work is done." Sailor Moon's like, "But you didn't do anything," and then Golbez just flips the cloak and walks away.
Hey, it looks like dimps are down. What do we get for a wonderful little prize here, besides Cure 4 on Foo?
Hey, a sellable item.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like 25,000-30,000 Jeeps right there. I'd rather have something else.
Me too.
Yeah, like a spoon. A spoon would be good.
So okay, looking at these parties right now, I mean, how much change are you willing to make? Oh, that would have been hilarious if that was a spoon.
It's an odd question. Obviously, you know, Cecil is Cecil, and you know, of course, shows up. It's like, yes, please, come along, come to the party. When you get to a certain point in the game, you know, you're almost comfortable with like, okay, I can make this end game party work. You look at the current party composition right now. We're not there yet. I mean, we have an Ed. Tella is not doing too much. You have a white caster once it comes online. You have Foo. You have basically a wall bot in Yang. Chances are you're going to see Ed or Tella go away, and you're going to want to pick something up to replace one of them. So whether it's Cecil, another Foo, some sort of spellcaster maybe to do reflect strats.
Ooh.
Oh my. Hey, so remember how we were talking about a jet earlier?
That, ladies and gentlemen of the chat, will put Neon Gray once they complete turning in the pigtail. And that twin harp.
That's go mode.
That's go mode.
That's go mode. Yeah.
And Moon is vaunted today.
I was going to say, and to nobody's surprise, Neon, right out here. Yes, we are. Oh, that was a fun little,
Yeah, that was a interesting, the Magma Key, of course, underground access, which is always fun and cheeky, but that Earth Crystal.
Yeah, so here's the issue. You're in go mode. Do you ever make the trip to go do Sheila 1 and 2 at this point? Probably not. You have your route to finish the game.
It's funny. So Neon hasn't gone underground.
That's true. That's true. Has not done hook route yet.
Rare seed of the underground being haunted.
Right?
I love it. I absolutely love it. So we were talking about team comps.
Yeah, about that.
Let's revisit and unpack that conversation that just became very relevant.
Oh, do we have... Oh, I can go into all sorts of cheeky plays here. We have Ed. So at this point, the game is finishable. As we currently sit, no levels, no nothing, the game is finishable. A lot of runners are not comfortable with this in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah. But Treasury though, is tough. Glass hat, otherwise known as the best equipment for Ed ever.
Over spoon? Excuse you.
Well, I'm sorry. Ed has to survive to use the spoon. So,
not if that
yes.
First kills him.
If he gets sneezed on and dies, he can't use the spoon.
It's the con shot first. Ed used spoon first.
Now, I will disagree with JP about throwing away that defense sword, because that defense sword sells for quite a bit of money. And, yeah.
How about third heroine robe?
Why not fourth heroine robe? Let's be greedy. Let's go for it.
That's a armor out of 10% right there.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad,
okay,
not bad.
So Neon. Underground is taboo at this point. Obviously, we had access to sirens, so that's done and gone. My guess is that the rest of the experience comes from the moon, and we finish the game.
Yeah.
So this is no longer a character check. This is no longer anything. This is levels and go.
And now it's just pretty much a matter or if Neon is comfortable with like those cheeky plays, this particular comp. Sell it! Sell it! Sell it! You have no reason to keep it! There is no Cecil in your party! Get out of here!
ladies and gentlemen, feelings on the crystal sword, and what's the term? Is it asserting dominance? I believe.
Sell it! Sell it! There is no Cecil. It would be funny if Cecil's in the Earth Crystal, but it doesn't matter right now. Sell it. Or Lace.
If Leon ever gets to a shop, maybe, but that also takes time, so I don't know.
It's always okay. Fine, yeet it, trash it. True dominance is to not even get anything for it.
I mean, if it's taking up an inventory spot, I mean, you know, hey.
Right?
So.
See, I can say to sell it this time. There's no Cecil to equip it.
I got nothing. I got nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, and people of all ages, she has a point. So there you go.
Da 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 da.
We'll be here all night, folks.
Or until I get yeeted.
That too.
Hoping for the latter.
I haven't been newspapered yet. I'm proud of
That's because they've all been pointed at me now.
That also could be a thing. But on JP's side, well, that's a meeting of punch mages, and one of them unfortunately did have to lose. So we say goodbye to one.
And hello to some music by the best DJ in the world, DJ Spoony B.
So much music. 242 different musics. That's a lot of music.
Every time I play this game, it's like 241 of them are Zelda songs.
I could see that possibly being a minor issue, but I personally have heard some very great ones. Xenogears has shown up. I've seen some really nice ones. So
I just got the Xenogears vinyl, and it is amazing. It is fine. But I'm also biased. It's the greatest game in the world. Hi, fake characters.
I mean, it's not really a fake character. It's a viable anchor, and viable anchor, and yeah.
So anyway, let's get some music going on.
Yep, 242. We get to pick one. No, we don't. The seed picks it for us. So we get to be quiet. You get to enjoy music.
That was so good.
I do love me some Onion Knight, and Final Fantasy 3. That is the thing, and no, not Final Fantasy 6. No, we're talking about 3.
Oh,
Well, so about that long walk going back down the moon.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's out. So, hey,
Wow.
guess what we are going to see? Oh, baby, are we going to see 1200 HP strats? Are we going to see Ed strats? Stay tuned. This could get fun.
How much? I don't know. First off, actually, let me unpack something first, because there's no more Edward on JP's side because there was a carpet.
I feel like this means this is going to be the spoon, right? That's how the game works, right?
I hope it is. But there was my least favorite boss in Final Fantasy IV, Plague. I don't like Plague. Plague doesn't, no, bad Plague. But
can I tell a story about Plague?
After I see this key item.
Okay.
I am waiting with bated breath.
I have a story, and I feel like I can relate to a lot of people with it.
Okay, fine, continue.
Okay, that was not a spoon, sadly. So here's my story about Plague. Plague, unfortunately, if you find Plague in the wrong spot, the animation, the crumble, takes forever, and we've all experienced this. I've also seen sometimes in certain fights in certain spots where a character's HP will literally go down and then back up after taking damage. Now, I swore on my life that I fought Plague once, and I swear pixels were reappearing during the crumble. Like, it was actually crumbling back up for a second before it crumbled down and finished. It could be a thing. I'm just telling you that if you find Plague in the wrong spot, it is miserable. Go up, get a drink. It's just bad. That's why nobody likes Plague. The end.
I wonder what kind of bug was Plague in your game.
I don't know. It was weird. So, but on Neon's side, Neon, we spoke about this earlier. This has to do exactly with, hey, guess what? I'm going to go kill bosses to power up food.
And then on the flip side, we have a dwarf castle check with Val Valis.
Oh, hi, Val.
And there's Yang.
I'm glad we have Yang.
there's Yang.
I'm glad we have Yang.
It's,
yeah,
I think GP.
Yeah, this spot is fun. So let's educate everybody on Val.
Okay,
Val
Professor
sucks.
Martin.
Val is horrible. Val is a terrible, terrible piece of work that once she starts spinning,
he knocks the wind right out of you.
Good luck. So this happens to be one of those spots that unfortunately you're going to learn very quickly. When you try to cast a spell on it, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, one thing does happen. You hit the reset button.
Yeah, pretty much.
You accept and move on with your life.
Yeah, 2/3 of the spots in the game, by the way, folks, 2/3. If Val starts spinning, you are not getting a spell through to her. And they are some of the worst spots in the game. Like the entire moon.
Yeah.
And that spot. Football defense. Baron 1. The list goes on and on. It's a great time.
Horizon Zot 1. Blame you for that one.
Or say Ordeals 2. I wouldn't know anything about Ordeals 2. No, that doesn't hurt at all. So yeah. JP fighting some eyeballs though. I like this. This is good. You can find some very excellent loot here in Lower Babel by murdering eyeballs. They also have this fun little side effect of stealing sirens from them too if you have an edge.
And even more so if you have an edge and a port.
Yeah, because of a weird mechanic with Cry. That I don't know why an eyeball shows any feelings towards porn whatsoever, but I guess it's a thing.
I just say Final Fantasy IV was a very well-crafted video game for its time.
Absolutely. Question from Chad: Does Bahamut get through a Val there? No. Well, it's called Perfect Magic Defense for a reason.
Does something like Nuke even get through?
No. Any spot on the magic chart of awesome, i.e. in Venerable's Val reference sheet, anything that has perfect magic defense, nothing gets through. while she's spinning. If you are one below that, if you're at 254, nuke will fire through it. So, but other than that, you're done.
Well, I'm trying to think of a really good way to say this pun, so just keep talking for a second.
Okay, good. Hopefully by the time you'll forget what the pun was in the first place. Continuing on. Neon not using the pass, though. So I'm guessing we're probably looking for more levels here, maybe? Probably go down to LST4 and throw out a few more sirens.
Hey, Martin.
Hi.
I think I know why Cry works on the eyeballs.
I'm going to regret the last however many years of my life by saying this, but why, Asuka? Why do eyeballs have a thing for porn?
Because I think the eyeballs appreciate the tears for fears.
Remember, folks, you can always go follow her at twitch.tv/Asuka424 if you would love to have more of this in your life.
And especially because that you understand what I was referring to.
Yes,
because
I do. I do. All too well. Thank you for that gem.
Malcolm, where's our king of puns? I need a rating on that.
No, we don't. We do not need a shishton.
I want to ride this wave right over to JP's side. Let's talk about a turtle.
Yep. Cubs, thank you for the link to Asuka. Everybody, make sure you go click that and go follow. Please. Do yourself a favor.
Follow Martin too, because he's putting up with me when I didn't realize he had to until shortly before this restream. And of course, our wonderful tracker Leggy Starscream and our restreamer Cubs Real 21. And then of course our runners,
I don't know what you're talking about.
And our runners Actual GP and Neon Gray. But yeah, explain why Kanatsu is a mean turtle.
He exists in a world where everything is Monday. That's why.
8 a.m. on Monday.
Yes. Actually, no, it's not even 8 a.m. because usually you set your alarm for 8 a.m. It's when you wake up at 7:45 and realize you could have gotten an extra 15 minutes of sleep, but you didn't, and then the alarm goes off to remind you that, hey, you could have still been sleeping. That's the world Kainazo lives in. That's why he's so angry all the time. So, but no, Kainazo's a pain. Kainazo... How do I describe this? Finding Kainazo on the wrong spot can ruin your day. It's a wave attack that is a percentage of HP that has variance built into it. So you never really know how powerful it could be. You know what the maximum is. In most spots where you're worried about it, it will kill you. So, and if you don't shut down that wave, it can become a problem really fast. So that fight is a lot about timing. It's a lot about damage output. It's a fight you usually don't want to see. So that's kind of also in a nutshell.
Yeah, anytime there are so many times, and pretty much anybody that's run this has seen Kanata one of those spots, and you just kind of, here we go. 2 hours later, that turtle is still laughing at you.
Yep, Kanazo with elements in the giant. Oh yeah, that's a great. Everyone should experience that one at least once in their life.
We had a seed recently when a giant wasn't required, but I decided to make a cheeky giant play. I was like, yeah, let's go see what's up there. Went to Elements, saw Kanatsu. I said, you can stay right there. Hit the reset button and moved on with my life.
Yep. And somebody mentioned it earlier in chat. Matter of fact, it was a deck. 4 to 6% of current HP total. That spot has 65,000 HP. Okay, fine, I'll spoil it. Higher math, that's 26 to 3,900 HP of damage. That is absolutely terrifying for any party.
You know what's not terrifying?
Yeah, that.
A free fight in the freest of boss spots.
Yeah, that's a bit sad. Question from Jabron: were sirens on the moon? No, sirens were via hook route.
Yeah, both
So,
runners pretty early got them.
Spoilers: Neon has not been underground. Neon has not even finished hook route, so Neon is in go mode.
Yeah, and magma key was actually via the pan, so you would have to go underground to get the magma key.
Yeah. So, to elaborate on the question, why warlocks? I mean, they're warlocks. Could you do something else? I mean, you could probably do gold dragons. You've got access to stop. Maybe get a little bit better XP out of it. I mean, warlocks are pretty straightforward. They're not the best XP. They really are not the best XP when you don't have 10 key items.
And the thing is, I know we were talking about various interesting strats, like Eddie strats, 1200 HP, but those are less complicated, more very technical. And if you don't have a good grasp on them, or you haven't really done them very often, in a race setting where your tournament life is literally on the line, that might not be something that you want to attempt. Hope and a prayer. So that's probably why Neon's doing a little bit of grinding here. I don't blame them in the slightest right now. And I'd probably be doing the same thing, honestly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Zeno brings up a point: gold dragons would be scary without hourglasses. Yeah, gold dragons are a little bit terrifying. I mean, obviously with party composition, setup, and everything like that, you have ways to kind of at least get a stop off to mitigate the problem. But yes, hourglasses obviously would make it obscenely easier. This isn't terrible, not by any means. It gets the job done. So.
And JP was actually rewarded for that tower key check in one half of the forge, so
nice.
That's some potentially really good equipment available if he can find the legend sword.
I think the debate there was currently had about do I go to the moon or what am I? We are going to see the character in bed though, so that could be fun. And in the meantime, hey Oscar.
Hey, Martin.
There's more people here.
Do I get to do more puns? Maybe I can. Maybe I can. Martin, I can engineer some more puns.
You could.
Now we have a Sid.
You could. I think you just did, actually.
Gambit, you missed an amazing pun earlier. You have to watch the fun.
Welcome, Free Enterprise Raiders. Please don't spoil the race. We know where you live. Well, I'm actually not kidding. We really know where you live. It's the fine print you didn't read when you signed the contract. So, don't spoil it. Here. But yeah, welcome. We are... How do we summarize this?
Underground's haunt, y'all. Look at Neon Gray's side of the screen.
Those are words that you don't hear very often. Not only is Underground haunted, you didn't even have to go underground.
Neon Gray has not gone underground. He does not even have Axel, aside from the hook route, has not completed the hook route yet.
Yeah.
let that sink in.
It's a thing. So Neon was rewarded by going to the moon early, doing the lunar and Ogopogo spot, and being rewarded with both music and the pink tail. And both bosses in our boss hunt were both sitting up on ordeals. So that was the thing.
It's been pretty interesting though. We do see Neon heading back to Earth.
Yeah, probably getting ready to get set up. I was really hoping house crushing is an acceptable method when you're flying a whale.
Martin, do you want to know something about the whale?
It doesn't corner worth a damn.
Even better.
Oh, okay. What do you got?
You can exit out the right side of it.
You can.
I know.
Oh.
What is it about the middle?
You know about the middle bed? All right, show of hands, chat. How many have slept in the middle bed and held right to get out of bed and went right back into the other bed? Been there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Been there, done that. Yep, see, look at this, right? I have, yep, see, I'm proud of you all. You are true free enterprise runners. I'm proud of you. Good job.
This guy gets it. Always left bed.
Yeah,
Team
always
left bed.
Yep, always. So on JP's side, we're cracking some eggs. I like eggs.
I appreciate Beowulf's answer. There are beds on the whale?
There are beds on the whale.
There's a chocobo on the whale.
See, look at that comment from Dia. That's why I no longer use the middle bed. That's coming from Dia, folks.
Dia's really good.
The middle bed is dangerous. Someone probably could tell me the exact time down to the 10th of a second on how much time it wastes sleeping in the bed twice.
There's probably a chart for it somewhere. No, but seriously, when you are half asleep and playing Free Enterprise C, don't go to the bottom rows of beds. Because you will see Choco Eyes, and it is the scariest sight.
I'm actually now concerned about ever playing this game after this, because I might see that.
Right?
Okay, so what do we have? Hey, guess what? We're going to Z here shortly. We are buying Cure 3. Cure 3 is always useful. They are fantastic items. Probably check this other shop. Maybe see what do we got? Oh, that burns. Mute bells were there. That's painful. But you know what? We got through the grind regardless. We're going through a door. We're going to a thing, doing a Bob. Asuka, why is chat devolving into a bunch of? Because Z-Day or something?
Those are Z spears. Those are spears with Z flags on them because they're sick of us. But oh yeah. Also, dominance asserted. Hi. Anyway, so we can't move Z. Z's too big and bad and powerful and chonk. So what we do is we change what Z looks like, and there are 526 different options to choose from. But we can't choose one unless we ask a very specific question. And since Martin has been very kind and courteous to deal with my shenanigans for the past hour and a half, I'll let Martin ask the question.
Do you think Z's butt hurts after all the kicking? I feel like it does. I do.
You have a butt.
Obviously, yeah, the more important question, does Z have a butt?
I mean, look at that right now.
With whose butt is the question? Whose butt are we kicking tonight? By the way, if it is sprite number 526, everybody go run and hide. It is terrifying. So
before the Z goes away, let it just be headcanon that Z is Foo when Foo wakes up on a Monday. Just so it cannot be unseen.
That'd be bad. A mop on a bad hair day? Oh, that'd be rough.
It's mop day!
Yikes.
Okay.
That is not a mop.
That is okay. That is the second time I have seen this exact sprite in as many days.
Oops.
This is supposed to be a 1% chance.
Sorry, my bad. Martin RNG. Flexing. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Z fight. This is going to be a little bit different than what you normally see here. I mean, we did just berserk a Porum, so you already know this is going to get fun.
This is going to be great.
So.
Also, you know what the best thing about Sephiroth is?
What's that?
Sephiroth is left-handed.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Sephiroth just nuked Ed into oblivion, but okay.
No. Eddie is best boy.
Well,
just like Kane, though. Sephiroth is left-handed. And Callum's left-handed. And being a lefty is awesome. And this is how I pander to the audience. Shout out to the 10% of us.
I like how you just gleaned over the fact that Kane is also left-handed.
I said Kane.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is Ned Flanders.
I can honestly say I have learned something new tonight.
He owned the left arm.
I sat there and I thought, I'm thinking more of, yes, he owned the left Orion, but I'm thinking about, like, just watching Ned, like, during all the episodes of The Simpsons. I never really looked to see, like, what hand he ever held anything in or anything like that.
Also, Link was left-handed until they added hand controls, and then they had to make him right-handed, and that was angry, but I didn't care because I never played much Zelda games. Anyway, so Sephirothmas.
Yeah, it's the thing. One, everyone's alive. Hooray. Fantastic. This is kind of a very interesting party composition, though. With enough people berserked, you can kind of slow down what Sephirothmas does. Unfortunately, your damage output is rather... How do I say this kindly?
Not great.
Thin.
Very devilish from Tello, though.
Yeah. So what you're seeing here is every time you cast a spell on Z, we'll revert back to Z here. Z likes to counter with a nuke pretty much right to your face. If it is timed well enough, you can actually cut down the power of the Big Bang you're about to eat. Unfortunately, not quite like that, but you get where the idea was going. So it's a good way with low HP characters. It's part of the basis of like 1200 HP strats is keeping those big bangs down at a nominal level. It does take some timing to make it work, but it is possible. So
yeah, this is going to be a very, very, very touch and go fight for Neon. I mean, those unless they can get those nerfs. That's I don't know what their battle speed is, because that has a huge effect on just the timing of those nerfs. Dude, that is a scary fight over on Neon's side. But on the for JP on the bright side, he is fighting Pale Dim right now, and I believe that was the one guarding D Winner's chest. So
yes, it was.
As long as he's able to complete that fight, he'll be getting his pink tail. And then, of course, more dominance can be asserted.
Yep. So yeah, back when you were talking about, paying attention, some fights are a little more sensitive to like paying attention and, I don't want to say micromanaging, but that's really what you're doing in a fight like this. This is a perfect example, and that is a problem.
That is, I would be very surprised. Oh, yeah, that's the virus.
No, yeah, that unfortunately is going to be a reset. So, yeah, this goes back to, like you said, that comfort level of, what strats. It's not just, hey, punch Z in the face repeatedly until Z goes away. It is, there's definitely variance of the fight that can be done, and knowing how to work around those. I mean, this is not the best party in the world to be going in this fight with, let's be honest. So
that is interesting, though. What Neon is going for right now, putting the crystal ring on Yang. Yang's agility is now 30. Now, I know there's obligatory agility shenanigans, but I have heard many times about 28, 42? Those types of ones. And if you can't be exactly those numbers, you want to be a little bit above.
Yes,
so
you never want to be under. Don't be at 7 unless you literally want to see a vibrate go right into a Big Bang. 27 is a bad thing to happen, so...
I feel like you have seen this happen.
27, I've done 27 just for S&Gs, and oh boy, is it terrifying. It is a abject lesson in agility. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you like your sanity, don't do it.
Now, with the witchcraft that is black magic, being at that level of agility for your anchor, what relative agility are you at? What is Xerxes at?
It is such a convoluted. It's the idea of agility. Obviously, you're at the end game. Technically, you want the slowest person humanly possible in the middle, and you want everybody else faster relative to that, so you take more turns. If that can't occur, those target markers that you mentioned, 28, 42, because Xerxes has 69 agility, the math plays out really well if you are at those markers on how everyone else will react according to you.
Okay.
So it's not a bad thing to have Yang here at 30 agility. You will probably get more turns, obviously, with the Silk Web and everything coming out. you'll be fine. The problem is damage output right now. You're going through without playing around with, you know, reflex strats or anything. You're going through 106,000 HP of damage here. And I'm wondering how this party gets there, is the question. And that's what we're waiting to find out.
And I know listening to a lot of you, that was me dropping my phone. Nobody heard that except everybody. So there's a thing called Foo and Friends.
Yep.
What, for those that are like, well, like I am, what is Foo and Friends, and would that apply here?
It is possible. So the idea behind Foo and Friends is the way the refill works. This game is coded obscenely well, by the way. Because it's a 16-bit game, we can't really give Z more HP than 65,000 and change. So what they did is they built a script into the game that basically refills Z's HP. Once it crosses the 45,000 HP threshold and you hit it with a direct attack, it will refill its HP. It will go straight back to full, and then you have to go do it again. Reflex strats do not trigger that refill. So if you can get through 61,000 without triggering the refill, the fight's over, because that's all it has. How do you do that via reflect when literally you look at this party and you don't exactly have a lot of, reflect happy things? The idea behind Foo and Friends is you are trying to literally do as much damage as you can with the characters you have. Eventually they're going to die, but you're going to shut them down at a certain point, and then it's going to become the Foo show, where basically Foo's going to throw, I don't know, Star Veil, Moon Veil, whatever it may be, and you're going to bounce spells off Foo to finish off that last little blip of HP to finish the fight. So you're basically using the rest of your party as, damage dealers, whatever you want to call it. They're going to die. There's no way to stop that. And then because of Foo and Foo mechanics, you can finish off the fight that way.
Okay, I get you. So essentially, upper tiers. Oh no, that's not good. Upper tier witchcraft that scares you.
It's not pleasant. Usually done on slower battle speed. It's doable. It's doable. It's one of those. It's practice. Unfortunately, I mean, we're all used to berserk strats, reflex strats, etc., so forth. Getting into things like Eddie strats, 1200 HP strats, not having a silk web, Foo and Friends. It's one of those that you need, unfortunately, a seed to experience it and practice it to be comfortable with it, because it is one of those, as you said, if you don't pay attention, you're dead. That's the long and short. You cannot screw that up. So
this is going to be another unnerfed Big Bang, so we'll see who survives. Oh, and
that
Yang,
is a
Yang
big
berserked.
roll on Yang, yeah. So, unfortunately, the problem with this is you're going to see, and there's the reset. It's virus right into black hole, but that turns off the berserk on Yang. Great, but you don't have time to get somebody up before the next vibrate comes, and it fires, and you're dead.
It's like here's the thing though. It's Z. No matter if you are a brand new runner or a super experienced runner, Z can find ways and will find ways to make it just torture you. Whether it's a party that does very poor damage, considering awkward agility situations, both, everything, Z will find a way to make it hard and can never be underestimated. And as we're seeing right now, I mean, Neon's a fantastic runner, and this is not an easy group to take to Z by any means.
No, not at all. And like you said, these are experienced runners. I mean, they understand the mechanics of the game and how these things work, and Z can still take you for a ride if you're not careful. So But while we're watching that, though, JP, we're getting to the point where JP is going to go say hi to what's down at Ogopogo.
Yeah, the D-Lunar altar has been completed. So JP does have access to the pink tail and 7.8 to 7.9 sirens. But yeah, there's not that many checks left. So this could turn into a race now.
Yeah, very much so.
And plus with Sid as the anchor, I'm not sure if JP has a curse string or not, but that could change things up too, because we start every game with the dwarf axe. Unless that was sold in one of the fire sales, that can also help Sid become a better anchor for the team. So we might have completely different agility situations going on.
Absolutely. I would not be surprised, depending how this goes, obviously, with JP, to see JP get Porum and Palom up to their respective spell levels for White and Nuke, and turn this into literally a reflect party with the party composition that it'll have. So
here's the other interesting thing. That's kind of a cheeky reward for beating a sure there.
Yeah.
I noticed JP's Foo has about 100 HP more than Neon's Foo. Do we know if Nuke was the very last spell, or in the very last group of spells that Foo acquired?
I think it was, if it wasn't the last one, it was the one right under that. I believe it was at 17 or 1800 HP they learned Nuke, so.
Yeah, we see JP making the right call. That is, for those that came in after the fact, we know that this spot, which is, well, you'll laugh at what's coming next.
Yeah. Literally.
But if JP is able to beat this spot, we will get the Twin Harp.
Right. So the reset's not okay. The reset might be a bad thing.
Oh,
the
no.
reset is a bad thing. Okay, so here's the problem with that fight. There's two reasons you see a reset out of that. Either A, the default answer is usually there's no way, and I'm not dealing with this. If this beats me, so be it. The other reason is rearranging your party order and equipment so that you stand a shot of beating that fight, or using spells like Size and Piggy to basically prevent the paralyze and give yourself better odds of surviving the fight. So, unfortunately in this case, well, it was option number one, which I don't blame JP. That is not the spot you want to deal with Golbez at.
Odin, not as bad.
No, I mean, it's gonna hit hard.
Yeah.
The fun part is Odin's finisher is based on magic power, and this spot does not do very well in that department. So the sword goes up, it's going to fire, but you stand a pretty good shot of some people surviving. So that's what happens when you don't have magic power, and that goes. So yeah, now if Odin was, say, down at, I don't know, Ogopogo,
different story.
That is a 3-second countdown to, I don't care what level your party is, you are dead. So
unless you have an Eddie.
That's true.
That's a nice sword that nobody can use.
There are other strats that, obviously can work on Odin as well, but we don't have the other character necessary for that, but that's okay.
That's, looking at JP, it looks like they are unfortunately putting that Golbez, and even more unfortunately, that is another reset on Neon for the Z fight. It does look like JP is going to be checking the Pale Dim spot. You know who we haven't seen yet?
Who's that?
A certain Derek Mist.
We haven't.
That could be interesting, because
that could be a thing.
I mean, with JP, we know where the Twin Harp is, but we don't know where the Legend Sword is yet.
I like where this is going. Unfortunately, JP has other ideas.
Yeah, that's well, JP does have the Baron key, and I don't believe the Baron anything has been checked.
No.
aside from Baron Inn, but
I don't blame it. It's 2 item checks and it's not Golbez, so
yeah, just you had it at not Golbez.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like I may have said that in the wrong order, by the way. let me get this right. It's not Golbez and it's Baron. So there you go.
But JP is definitely doing the one obligatory, hey, we forgot to do this because we all forgot to do this.
I mean, you turn it in. Hey, maybe it's a useful item. Unfortunately, spoilers. We know it's not.
It's 7.8 to 7.9 sirens.
There you go.
Sell that one too.
How many sirens are we left with? 6? Okay. All right. So you'll probably see all of these burned, would be my guess at this point.
Did Neon pick up the mute bells? We are about to find out.
Don't believe so. Also, healing before fights. Very important.
Yeah. But hey, we get to see what's going on. We lost. Poor was working on her camouflage there for a hot second.
They did not work out very well.
Oh. We do get to see who all is in Baron today, aside from the first boss, which was a boss of a kind. I don't remember.
I'm going to blame the fact that I am not currently racing, so I did not pay attention to what the first boss was.
I saw an Eddie, so I was like, oh, Eddie, hi.
My bad. I was more concerned about the first starting on being a spoon. I may have gleaned over who the boss was.
yeah, Martin was holding his headphones.
I was making sure the old ears were safe. And
yep, it is the guards. Yep. It's the Fear of Guards, because we've already seen the officer and the soldiers way back on. I want to say was it the moon?
Officer and soldiers? No, that was the second fight in Baron Inn, I believe.
Yes.
Was all gauntlet right into that. So yeah.
That's right. Not doing social distancing. There's a lot of people to fit in that back room. Real talk. They were over capacity even pre this horrible pandemic. But a simple thing passed, and they are quite literally gone now.
Yep. Let's see who our second boss is. Oh, well, that's
Sushi.
Okay. You live under a waterfall your entire life, you know. Sometimes you need to experience the comforts of, you know, a padded throne. Sure, I'll allow it.
Who lives in a waterfall under the sea?
No, no. I was gonna say, you know, if Twitch could wield a newspaper, I'm pretty sure I know where that one's going.
Hey, they've done the Gaston song on here. Just for Gaston, miss.
Yeah.
That's another poem.
I was gonna say, that's not Cecil. That is not Cecil.
That's not taken either.
Nope. But we guess see what's in a trash can.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to tell me once this is the Baron toilet. I don't believe that.
It's just, I mean, back in medieval times,
it's too much effort to get. I mean, this is like, look down the amount of stairs you have to go down to get to it. No, it's not.
You gotta earn it.
Yeah. Would you walk down that many stairs to go to a toilet? No.
It depends. What are the other options?
And it's hidden behind a secret wall, even. I mean, look at it. Look at all those. No. Because then, you know what the worst part is? You have to walk back up them.
Ooh. Well,
that's an item.
That's actually fitting if that's the trash can / bathroom.
Yeah, that could lead to something.
I definitely don't blame JP for making this check immediately. The hovercraft's already there. The rat tail could lead to Legend Sword. It could lead to the spoon, so I can go, well, you should have kept that Edward.
It could lead to a vampire.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
or an ice. Oh, jeez.
Yes. I'm not sure which one's more useful, actually.
Do you know that stock footage of the old man that looks like they got like they're like doubled over after getting punched or like laughing too hard? That is a like mood. That. It is exactly that. It's like, oh, you get the really, really nice sellable sword for the pigtail, and then you get this for the key item tail.
All right, so what do we got on JP's side? More sirens? All right, so we are sirening everything here, folks. Now, the one advantage JP has is counting the amount of key items. That is a number greater than 10. So those eggs are going to be worth twice as much as they normally are. So
this is true. So this could actually make things very, very interesting, especially because on Neon's side, that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 key items. The past does not count in that counting. So, which might have burned me once or twice when I started playing, and recently too. Because
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, I'll take a pass on talking about that one. But Neon does not get the bonus XP for the 10 key items. Also, point of note, the other reason why JP did not take that Palom before, because hey, actually, Professor Martin, I thought I could slingshot characters. Why didn't they just take the Palom and slingshot him?
Because it's cheating and they turned it off.
Oh.
It's that easy. Duh! For those that didn't watch Zima's Zone 3, by the way, let's wind the clock back and we'll paint a little picture. It goes a little bit like this. Oh look, I found a mage. Oh look, they're 5 levels under the median of my party. Oh look, I have access to the giant. Oh look, they're past level 50 and they have nuke already. Wow, that was easy.
Yep.
That got shut down really quick. So they turned off the flag for the slingshot. So that rule no longer applies. Also, the giant now has a fun little mechanic. The giant is a one-way trip.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that door opens one way. You go in, you don't exactly come out unless you finish the entire thing. So
that is why in this flag set, when the vanilla giant flag is on, the person that takes the giant will straight up say, hey, like, once you leave, you cannot exit. So actually save beforehand and don't save over it.
Very, very nice of people to actually put that warning in. Not that,
You're
we're
not
not all just mashing A repeatedly anyway, so we probably just all bleep right past it. But
no, don't
the warning's there.
Like, hit like the R button to change the characters or something.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, but Neon's back on Earth. I'm guessing that means we're gonna see another attempt. That or the sirens ran out. We're buying more, but I'm going with no. We're actually gonna see another attempt at this. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the agility. Oh no, they still have 2 sirens left, so that is it.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see how the agility works and see if it works out any better. I mean
go ahead. I was gonna say the nice thing at least is when you have characters that are in the neighborhood of like 28 agility, usually with the cast of party members you have, it's pretty easy via, I don't know, a charm claw, a crystal ring, a ninja hat, whatever, a cursed ring, whatever it may be, to manipulate people to that target of 28 and get that character in the center, and then the rest of the thing kind of falls in place. So that's useful, but I don't know. I didn't see Neon go into a status screen at all, so
ooh,
it's a surprise to everyone.
So getting edge this late is a bit of a double-edged sword here.
Believe it or not, it's not. This is actually a very fun one. Lower numbers are better, but I can tell you that a base level edge with a crystal ring is exactly 28 agility.
Ah,
so
I
if you
get
kill him off and put him in the center, guess what? And no, chat, I did not miss that pun. I did. I felt it. Did I feel it?
Yeah, that one didn't sneak past him.
No. Didn't sneak past them. Darted right for me.
I'm just trying to put this place up in flames.
Yeah. I may have gotten blitzed by that pun.
It's an image of perfection.
Wish I had a smoke screen right now. I mean, hi, what?
And that's the long and short of it.
Ah, there you go.
See, Martin?
It's like a boomerang, folks. You just keep throwing it away and it keeps coming back.
Thought you could steal it from me, huh?
So about this fight. Hey, look, it's still alive.
Is this even, though? Is this even?
Is this even what?
Vanilla.
I mean, no.
That was a Luca key from Luca.
Are we going to check it? Of course we are.
Of course we are.
Of course. We get to talk about the rope of shame.
Hey! Tell us about the rope of shame, Professor.
Everybody, by the way, if any of you deny ever hitting the rope of shame, I will call you out. You are filthy liars.
Yay! Seal cave.
So, on floor 3, when you walk out, usually the idea is, oh, I'm just going to hold down. Somebody, thanks Debs, placed a nice little rope literally right in front of you. So if you hold down right outside this doorway,
boo,
JP missed the rope of shame. The rule is if you hit the rope of shame, you have to check the treasure chest that's down there. Every runner has hit it once, I promise.
Also, Martin, you are now called Professor Martin in chat.
No, I can't take that title from Flurry. That's
Adjunct
that's terrifying.
Professor? No, Flurry is the tenured professor.
Okay. Wait, what's that make me?
Chop liver?
Okay. That works.
You know, looking at Neon's party right now, you know what my thought is? It kind of hurt because I was thinking.
Okay.
Just preface.
Let's hear the thoughts. What do you got?
Neon has the Baron key. Do you want an anchor?
You know, I'm not against it.
Okay,
so JP. I understand it's a package in there. But whatever. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll let it go.
This is fine, TM. Would anybody put Martin on tenure track? I totally would for the lulz.
Wow. Thanks. Appreciated. If I said make sure you go follow Asuka, because, yeah, no, you really should.
I'm already getting banned and reported by every single person in this chat right now.
Such a bundle of joy, let me tell you. Oh, by the way, yeah, go follow Cubs and Starscream as well. They're way better individuals.
Than both of us combined.
Yes, exactly.
And follow Professor Martin, also known as Martin Broadcloak.
That's me.
Everybody's favorite uncle.
I'm never gonna get rid of that title. Ever.
No.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Uncle Professor Martin? Esquire. It's like PK is Ultimate God Slayer, PK 5788 or just PK 4787. You are going to be Uncle Professor Martin Broadcloak Esquire.
Can I just mention here really quick? I had no choice in this. This was sprung on me on the last second.
I know.
Even the bot couldn't get it right. And I had to wait a half hour for the bot to tell me, hey, by the way, there's been an update. Surprise.
There, Uncle Dr. Professor Esquire, or Uncle Dr. Professor Martin Broadcloak Esquire Jr. Jones
Jr. Okay, Neon, one more time.
Once more with feeling.
As they say in the world next door. Yes.
We named the dog Martin Brundle.
Denari, I swear on my life.
You know, we both sighed. It's just I was courteous enough to not push to talk to do it.
Just think, folks, you too could be in the booth. You could be doing commentary for these races.
I mean, clearly you've shown they let anybody in here.
Yeah, just come join the Discord. It's that easy. There's a link somewhere in here. It probably involves a command. All you have to do is click on it, come in.
Working on it.
There it is. Look at that.
Oh, that's the website. But the website leads to the Discord. It's one extra step.
Would you like to be in a booth with Asuka? You too can experience all the joy that this brings, and oh my. They even let you around Button.
No, because Possum ate it.
Oh. Oh, that's right. Possum's. Uh-oh. Possum's here. Yeah. Oh, God. We should hide the button.
Oh, Leggy and I on comms. Leggy, are we allowed to do comms and then just have a restream button of Martin sighing at us?
That's the button I don't need on the old mixer, but thank you, I appreciate it.
I kind of want to make it now.
Oh boy. Let's see, how is Sephiroth
Night, Mom.
doing over here?
Can we get a restream button of Martin just sighing in disappointment when Lady and I do comms?
No.
Oh gosh.
Oh, JP. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Ooh, are we doing a Fey March check?
I think we are.
Yeah.
This could be interesting. All right.
Okay with this.
Like I said, I'm all about Team Free Enterprise. So new stuff is good. This is fantastic.
I don't even remember who the bosses are anymore. No, I do. I think JP beat the Dimps, but we still have the Magus sisters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, strangely, is not a very terrifying spot as soon as you get rid of the jerk. And we all know Mindy is the jerk. Anybody that's played Final Fantasy X understands that Mindy is terrible.
So Uncle Dr. Professor Martin Broadcloak Esquire Jr. the Third.
No.
Why is Mindy the jerk?
Mindy. It's Mindy. Just Mindy. So, ironically, the bad one is in the middle in this spot. Usually what happens with the Mega Sisters, the Mega Sisters, one, they tend to be fast. Two, if you find them in a magic power spot, Mindy becomes a real treat to deal with. But the way the HP splits between the three sisters, the middle sister is the one that has the most HP. It's also the one in this spot that punches you. And in Leviathan's spot, it has the worst physical attack in the entire game, as in it will really hurt when she swings. So, first you see a wall, and then you get the business. Amazingly, armor works, though. Armor does very nice things, though, so that's nice.
Yeah, with these levels, it shouldn't be...
Yeah. Nah, you'll see a lot of Quack, probably. Maybe some Swag Rocks, possibly.
Ooh. No, but it just looks like doses of Quack at this point.
Doses of Quack. So, and nobody shed a tear that Mindy is now gone. Hooray! Unfortunately, Cindy doesn't learn her lesson very well. She brings them back. So Cindy needs to go away pretty quick.
Yeah, they pretty much each have their own unique roles. Mindy just lays on the pain. Cindy revives her sisters, and Sandy will board-face AI the wrong character and charm them.
I say it can be really dangerous with a whole mage party if you leave her alone by herself.
Yeah.
There's been instances, we'll leave it at that. You never want to see a Medio directed at your own party. Especially when it's by one of your party. It's not a good thing.
I've seen that video. Let's see here. Let's see what Magnet is.
Was it worth it? Oh boy. So is this that moment where JP is like, oh no, it's on the moon. I have to go back.
Yeah.
I think we're there.
Unless.
So. Also, poor Neon.
I know. I mean, I really hope they remember that they have the Baron key, because that I don't know if it would solve all of their problems, but it would definitely help in the anchor situation.
Yeah, I mean, a solid anchor makes this fight. It's such a huge difference if you have a solid anchor here. So that cannot be understated. And I apologize, Oscar, for this, but at that point, Ed kind of goes, well, I mean,
he's been doing, I saw the damage he's been putting out.
I was going to say, you have Tella still. Tella goes away. Tella goes away and gets replaced by whoever your anchor is. So
it's like at this point, I'm worried with Neon in that they've essentially gone, they have the blinders on at this point. They're at Z, and it's at this point you want to just beat Z.
I call it the principle factor.
Yeah.
When eventually it becomes a matter of principle that yes, it needs to happen. So
I mean, the other thing is JP hasn't checked the giant for potential demist. The Odin throne is still unchecked. That, I mean, if they want to go get that package, that's a thing. But yeah, hopefully at least for JP's case, well, we are checking K value, which is going to be a menu.
I feel like that was intentionally timed by JP.
Like, really
I'm 1 square away from you. I'll see you in the boss. We'll just wait here a second. Enjoy your menu.
Yeah. Oh, that is
there
a some variety.
There we go.
Now Marlon Z in this spot. Good.
Ow.
Okay.
Ow. Ow. Also tied for the highest punching spot in the game. And ironically, that's all Mylon does. So, ow.
Yeah, that
hurts. Has a slight adversity of fire, though. So I hear also microwave. I hear worse wonders, too. So that's pretty straightforward.
And a little bit of a factor that new runners might not realize is that Mylon is technically floating. There's just like a little tiny pixel of this. But yeah, it's so microwaving fire 3s. I know for Mylon and Friends, Cure takes care of the Friends portion, but does Cure work to damage Mylon Z or no?
It does. Mylon is technically undead, so yeah, I hear using a vampire on Mylon Z doesn't work very well. So don't do that. That's actually a terrible idea.
I've heard that, but I legitimately don't know what happens.
Oh, usually if you're at low levels, it will kill you in the process and give Mylon HP. So, yeah, not that I know that for any reason whatsoever, but yes, that does occur. So, fire to Cure Core Direct. Hi. Well, that's one way to avoid little bits, I guess. That qualifies as go mode.
That just got interesting. That is
okay.
This is a race again.
I hate to say it, Neon's on a clock. So because this is going to be turn in. Here's the catch: no pass. So you have to walk it one more time. But JP's party is also in a pretty much better spot.
Agreed. Yeah, that Sid anchor is going to do wonders for JP.
Yeah, so Neon had from here to that, I'm going to say you are in turn in, walk down. You're probably in the 10, 11 minute range. Probably of finishing.
10 to 15 roughly.
Yeah.
Barring anything weird happening.
Yeah.
But,
so if it's not this attempt for Neon, it has to be the next one.
Agreed. But we do get to see the Cocoa Shop, which usually has some pretty good stuff. Sometimes some zonks, but we get to find out. Plus, we get an X-Cal for...
And a very excited old man there. Also, thank you for not robbing the old man. Appreciate it. By the way, there's an item on this bookshelf. Don't be a jerk and take the item on the bookshelf, okay? That's not nice.
Power shirt?
Sell it all.
Yeah.
Hawk it all and buy whatever you like. You don't need it. Yep, there you go. I know somebody was watching for that specific one.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that, yep. There it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Christmas. Everyone's getting presents. Let's go.
Edge is, Edge wins. Edge is going to be doing a lot of damage against Z.
Yeah.
Especially with that power shirt swell.
Now, I know what people are asking. They're probably asking, hey, why wouldn't you just get the X-Cal and sell that too? Because you can actually throw the X-Cal. So Edge now has a dart, a very high-powered dart.
So that's going to be, whew. Yeah, Edge pretty much, I mean, do you dart the X-Cal and then have them get zerked, or do you just manually control them for...
No, you zerk
X-Cal and done?
Yeah, the idea is, obviously you do the dart because the damage output on that thing is going to be nuts. Having two people berserked, basically, we call it clogging the queue, but when you have characters that basically get their action immediately without any input from you whatsoever, they kind of screw with how the fight works as far as Z getting turns. So the faster you get people berserked in the fight, the smoother it goes.
Gotcha.
So you want damage first, obviously, punch it in the face hard enough, and it goes away. But once you have two people berserked, the fight slows down to a point. It's almost on autopilot, I would say, at that point. So.
And did Arbors find any Bacchus wines, or is it just going to be one of our major Porum, Tella, or Fu cast certain?
It's probably going to be Porum Fu. I would say once the Berserk comes online, then you can worry about Star Veils or reflecting spells with the other ones. But yeah, your priority is, if you don't have a Silk Web, your priority is obviously Dart with Edge, get slow up and running on Z, get that first counter nuke out of the way, and after that, however you want to proceed in the fight. So it's going to be a pretty straightforward fight for JP.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, as we're about to... Oh, no.
Okay, so about that race. In all reality, we're currently tied.
Yeah.
So Neon's fight will take a bit longer because of the party involved. JP is on his way down. This is a tie, and we're going to see who wins this. So.
Yeah, it's again, it's said it before, we'll say it again. This is never a fight to be taken lightly. If you have comps that you either aren't comfortable with, not used to doing, strategies that may or may not work, it's rough. And with Neon, the longer they take not going immediately back to Z, the more, unfortunately, the scales are starting to tip in his favor.
Mm-hmm. So I know Neon has 2 Sirens left. There's other ways of acquiring experience on the moon. But, as we've talked about, I just, with the agility setup and everything, I don't know if you have the party composition to do this.
Yeah, as mentioned in chat, anchoring is just so important.
It is. Yeah, the game's forgiving, at least at the beginning, where it's like, okay, put the fastest character in the middle and just bonk things, and they usually go away. But as the game progresses, yeah, when your agility is out of whack, you really feel it, and sometimes in the worst possible ways. So.
On the bright side, for at least JP, we get to see JP gets to see, after 2 hours and 13 minutes, he gets to see our 1% chance with the Sephiroth, the one-winged angel himself, Sephiroth.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll see. And Neon, as also mentioned in chat, Neon did pick up Meat Bells, so we will have a quicker Warlock grind.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's still 7 key items, so not as much as it can be, but...
I mean, the good part is at least it will be fast. This is widely considered one of the better grinds that you can get depending on your party. A mute bell basically shuts them down completely, and you kill them at your leisure. The worst thing that happens is that once there's one left, they will start punching you. It's not terribly damaging, so you usually can manage it, but yeah, a single mute bell shuts this fight down and the fight is free. So.
And plus, with this strategy, then Neon is able to life glitch if the timing's right, so we'll get a little bit more XP on her characters that way.
Absolutely. These warlocks have 4,200 HP. Good chunk of people do know that, so you will see some timing involved here as far as what is going to kill that one and who's going to either cast life 1 or use the life potion on it.
Now, I actually learned from your group the nice 2 strats against gold dragons. Does that still work for these?
Yeah, it does. You can get a little cute with some agility manipulation and things like that, where if you cast a longer spell, Ice 2 tends to be it just because of cast time and the animation time. You have enough time to actually get multiple characters to either use the life 1 or cast life 1. So instead of just using a single life potion on an enemy, you could get 2, or in very rare cases, 3 off, and basically get 2, 3, or 4 kills for the price of 1.
That's not bad at all.
No, so, I mean, anything to make it faster? Yeah, absolutely, by all means.
I always love getting the Maiden's Kiss from the Warlocks. I don't know why, it makes me think of the Toad Lady, because I think it's the same sprite.
Yeah, actually it is.
And let's see, turn it over to GP side. Yeah, we're doing some nuke reflects, so that's you'll see how big of a difference that makes. I'm not sure who has the Stardust Rod. I would assume the 4K hit. That's much damage is
I was gonna say, considering that who is currently running as a healer, I would say the Stardust Rod's probably on the kid.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, this is what we call hybrid strats. Basically, you'll see probably Sid edge Berserk, who will take care of healing, and Palom will just continue bouncing nukes off his own wall, and the fight's going to end that way. Porum, either healing or white reflecting, either or works. But you are going through the full 106,000 unless you want to get really cute with timing. It's possible. It's rare. If you're planning for it, it works fantastic. If not, you're going through the full number for this fight. So
yeah, and over 2 hours into a seed, and there's no dot duns. I mean, I don't even know if I would risk it. I'd take the extra time and throw everything in the kitchen sink. Just so I didn't mess something up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this is a pretty, I'm not going to say it's a completely safe fight, because Z
does Z things.
Z does Z things, and unfortunately we've all been on the business end of a high roll where your party gets obscenely wiped out by a very bad roll of damage. But the reality is, this is about as safe as the fight is. As long as you have a dedicated person running Cure 4, you're pretty okay. So.
Yeah, and these number or HP totals, I mean, that's pretty close to being able to completely survive an unnerved Big Bang. They would have to roll extremely high. I mean, that being said, Z will high roll every person in your party with the worst possible time, but
now equipment can help that. Now, obviously, some of the starting equipment we have, like rune rings, for example, help with that. Any of the white mage gear, if you find like a white shirt, something along those lines, you can make it so, in all theory, someone is more or less unkillable with the right equipment and enough HP. So
I always forget that Big Bang is a magic spell. You can mitigate it somewhat with magic defense. It's one of those little Final Fantasy IV things that, unless you are so engrossed in knowledge of vanilla, you probably don't know.
Yeah. Also, we get to see the weakness of Fu on display there. Unfortunately, Fu is amazing as Fu is and Fu things. 190 MP goes pretty fast.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you're throwing out Cure 4s and nukes all over the place, you're like, oh, why can't you Oh.
That's a,
Oh.
Oh, look, Elixir Sweet. And with that, it is rocks coming down on JP's side.
We're close. We're in the last 10,000 stretch here. So we'll see who finishes this fight. Pardon me.
Excuse. A counter on, I don't think JP was expecting the Meteor right there.
I think JP is content just to sit back and let Edge and Sid take care of the rest of this. And that's a flash. And ladies, gentlemen, everybody, JP.
Actual JP has won this race with an official race spot time of 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 15 seconds. Get those GGs in chat. It's been a long day, y'all. As we get JP into the booth for an interview. And
that looks like a JP.
That is JP.
Hi, JP.
I could be a JP. How are you?
You could? Are you? Have you looked in the mirror lately?
I mean, I like to think I'm the actual JP, but...
Yeah, not the imposter JP. Yeah. So, JP, words.
Yeah.
Wow. What was that thing?
That was a slog is what it was.
Yeah, any comments? Because I've heard this question asked before, but we are going to direct it at Cubs Rule. Do you have any comments for the restreamer that can be said on restream?
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for staying up for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Hey.
For
what
one
else
thing.
are we gonna do with the time, right? Yeah. I'm sorry you had to experience that.
No, I mean,
so
it's good to experience something like that. Even in my practice seeds, I've never gone that long.
That was definitely one of the stranger ones I've seen as far as how everything kind of laid out there. I did love the fact. I'll let you describe your thought walking down to Ogopogo and being like, okay, I'm gonna kill it up. There's Lolbez.
Yeah, I just kind of said, nah, I'm good on that. But I didn't.
Would you like to know what Golbez was holding? Because we know.
Well, if I look at my objectives and I listen to neongrey in chat, it's Twin Heart.
The underground is haunted.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the adamant there, as you showed us.
I think the best thing I got was an assassin dagger.
Didn't even keep that one. It was like, wow, thanks for the reward game.
Thanks, I hate it.
I'll just keep up inventory space.
Yeah. So thoughts on obviously I'll kind of talk about Neon for a second, then we'll go to you. Neon did not go underground at all.
He had the right idea.
Went straight to the moon, had go mode. Obviously, didn't come out the winner, had some issues with a fight, but as far as you go, doing what you did and going through hook route, obviously Mom Bomb there, it's not the specialist of fights. Let's leave it at that. When you hit underground, what was your thought as far as, are you behind at the time? What's the plan? Obviously you have a pan, so it's a great start, but where are you going from there? What were you thinking?
Well, my thoughts were the usual. Check the freebies, see what happens. I saw the Dark Imps, so I just quickly stoned them. Got nothing out of it. Checked for items. I wanted to see the character in Dwarf Castle, but Valvalist kind of stood in my way pretty hard. And I even went back for more later, apparently.
we did comment that's not a great spot to find Val.
No.
As you showed everybody. Asuka, what do you have?
Oh, I mean, like you said so yourself, that's probably the longest seed you've done. So it's one of those feelings of, as you're seeing your timer just keep ticking and keep going, and you're not seeing .dones yet. I mean, what are your thoughts? Are you getting more panicked? Are you going, oh wait, if I'm it isn't, like, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, if I'm gonna be honest, once I see activity on Discord, be it how minor it is, I kind of just glance over because of the way I have my setup, and then if I don't see a done, I'm just like, all right, let's keep going, just keep pushing along, let's see what happens. But I mean, there's not much you can do. Like, you either stand behind the checks you make, or you just kind of, or they fail, like the entire underground.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you always hear the moon's haunted, but hearing underground haunted, that's a rare thing. So, oh, there's a spoon. So yeah, for you to go underground, there's nothing wrong with any of the checks you made. It's just, this was one of those very strange seeds.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, the way I usually play it is I kind of do like the world map order. Like, okay, I'll go check the character at Hobbs, and then I'll check Antlion, and then I'll check Fabul, and I kind of just go in like level order as long as the key items will allow me, just to make sure that I have enough levels for the next part. I mean, sometimes items will throw a monkey wrench in things, or like a magma at the start will just be like, all right, let's go check the freebies. But you just kind of keep pushing along.
Makes sense.
Well, I would say in this case it worked out well for you. You know, like Asuka was saying, 2 hours plus, and congratulations, you're 2-2. You are still in the tournament. So
I mean, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Yeah, that's a huge surprise that I'm even there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, you kind of play what the seed throws at you, and you followed what you do and came out with a win this time. So, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. No, I think I speak for all, so get some well-earned rest. You deserve it, and we will
see you in week 5. Yeah, I know. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Yeah, you guys too. Get to play some Diablo on Friday.
There you go. And look who's here. Hi, Neon.
Hi, Neon.
Hey, that was
words.
That was, I think, the free enterprise version of the old "how it started, how it's going" meme. Because
that's a very good way of describing it.
Oh, that is the single worst Zed fight I have had in literal years.
I mean, the part on... Obviously, it didn't go the way as intended, but I mean, the party composition, that didn't exactly help matters a little with what the game offered, and said, here, go beat the game with this. Like,
right.
Okay. So...
Yeah, that was a very marginal party.
I mean, talk about better things, though. Let's talk about how you blazed through the seed and making that bold play to the moon and having it pay off in dividends. That was great.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had a darkness crystal. I saw a mom bomb at the hook. I had many means of dealing with the warlocks. I was a little worried at first with the very first time before I hit the groove on that, but so yeah, I was very much like, yeah, let's go to a place untouched by capitalism, space.
I like it.
I was gonna say it worked out obscenely well.
Yeah,
Both
I was
were-
happy just with that pink tail, and I'm like keeping going, and I'm like, if the twin harp is down here, I don't even have to ever go underground. And then when I hit Golbez at Ogopogo, like that was maybe the single best boss for me that could have been there, because it's so much damage. He kills himself if you could get your reflects off, which easily done with that setup. Just oh, I severely, repeatedly, severely underestimated the amount of oomph I had.
I commented on that. It wasn't that, I mean, the setup that you had was going to work, but the damage output you had, it's like, how long does this fight go? And what happens when Z decides to high roll you? And
yeah, and
unfortunately,
I kept getting high rolled, like the 2200s.
Yeah, we kind of saw that, and
yeah, and I had very, like, basically no item prep anymore, because I went so quick through all the other things. I didn't really hit up any shops or anything. Like, I didn't even have any more star veils left. Like, if I could have supplemented with I guess virus, because that food didn't even have nuke.
Yeah, unfortunately, learned it very late in the spell list, so it was like,
yeah.
I mean,
honestly, probably the best thing I could have done was actually go hit up that Baron key that I picked up, and just get the 2 more bosses that way.
What was it ever a concern to you? Like you said, you brought up the Baron key. Was it ever a concern where it's like, I can beat this fight, or after the first few times where you're like, okay, does the character there do anything for me? Is it a better anchor? Do I get an item that helps me? At that point, why do you go back to Baron? What's there that can help you?
That's the thing. Like, I considered it. I'm like, this is a marginal party. There's very little that wouldn't improve it. Even just swapping out the Tella for, and getting like a really nicely low anchor. And for all I know, hey, that there could have been a Cecil there, even a level 1 Cecil with that crystal sword. But I'm like, no, you know what? I've got a setup. I know a setup that I felt would work. It's just it did not work.
Still though, kudos for keeping going and keeping. It just you didn't give up. Like you tried so many times, and I don't have that kind of fortitude to do that. So you are so awesome. Like I mean, heck, just watch you do the seed and giving it your go and trying to tweak little things here and there and finding what could work. It's that was kudos.
So,
I am nothing if not persistent.
I was gonna say, and I'll say this. I'll actually comment on something somebody just said in chat. Jbrun basically said, "Go mode at low levels means you've done something very right." You did something very right in that seed.
Yeah, like I was thrilled with how that played until I actually hit the fight. Like I was so happy with that. And I mean, and I'll take it as a learning experience, just for being able to tell, like, this is something I'm not going to be able to pull off, like this specific setup. And knowing when you're not going to be able to take a fight, that's just that's just as huge. Won't be doing it in the rest of the league, but well, I've still got the party time races, so.
Absolutely. And yeah, like we always say, I mean, tournament racing, it's a whole different ball than just normal casual pickups or anything like that. It's the experience alone is just so valuable. So
yeah.
Even though you are 1 in 3, yeah, I'm not gonna be surprised to see you do amazing things in upcoming tournaments.
Oh, thank you.
Not with performances like that. So.
Yeah, like I do feel good about that up until everything went so badly, but so I cannot complain too much. It's just, and honestly, because I do tend to like overshoot a lot on the Zed fight, I think it's actually going to be helpful in the long run to remember what a bad one feels like. Which is, I'm very much looking for silver linings here.
Honestly, you're right. It's if you have everything go perfectly smoothly or almost perfect every single time, you don't know how to react to when things don't go perfect and don't go smoothly. So it's, in a way, it helps to get that bad Z fight showing up. It's like, okay, I can't take this for granted. So yeah, you got a point.
Yeah, because I am like really prone to beating my head against a wall when I really shouldn't. When as you can see by how things went early on, if I do the thing where I go, I don't want to fight that, and then I don't fight that, things go really well for me. And I just need to remember that, even if something's going to be a roadblock, in this case, a guaranteed roadblock, because it's the only thing between me and the end, sometimes you have to go, oh, I shouldn't be fighting this.
Right.
Well, it's, again, GG's. That was, Z fight or not, that was still amazing to watch both of you get through this seed in vastly different ways, and it was an absolute treat to watch and commentate.
It really was.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, I'm glad it wasn't all just an hour of boring on my side.
There was not a dull moment in the entire run.
Good.
Treat to watch. So, unfortunately, not the finish we want, but still the run though was, the right plays, the right calls, and in a haunted underground. Words I never thought I'd hear.
Right?
It happens.
So,
so much value in that mood.
Right? So, well,
GG's and give your kitty some hugs and scritches.
I absolutely will. In fact, they're right here. Oh my god, they're sitting right next to each other. Their butts are touching. Who's some good growth? There we go. That's 2 kitties petted. Here's a 3rd kitty. There we go. Everyone has been petted.
Hey!
Live on stream.
Excellent.
The true winners of the seed. Neongrey.
Right.
They're always the winners of any races because they get fed right before I start, just to make sure they're not going to hassle me during the race.
That is a smart strategy there. I love it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so with that, again, GG's. Any last words?
No, I think that's pretty much it. GG to you, JP, and good luck going forward.
You too.
Thank you. And yeah, at least now the new patch for Disco Elysium is out, so I can freely play that.
I like how both of you ended with, all right, now this is the game I'm going to be playing.
That
was great.
Well, I have a ton of backlog on my PS4 as well.
I think that's called having your priorities in order.
Right? Diversifying one's portfolio.
Exactly. Well, do you have any last words, Asuka, that aren't upon?
Actually, I do.
Hey!
No, I just wanted to thank our behind-the-scenes team once more. Cubs Rule 21 doing fantastic restream, Leggy Starscream doing awesome tracking, and Martin for putting up with my shenanigans. I even mentioned when I asked Phil, I've been chomping at the bit to do comments with you because I legitimately respect you, and I think you are absolutely fantastic in this game. Just in general, you're a real treat to be around, and deserve every follow that you get. So,
oh, well, thank you.
All of them.
Wow, and that's not the alcohol talking, folks. I'm
Really
super
can't
happy with that. You were a pleasure as well. I had a great time. 10 out of 10 would do again.
Yay.
Cubs, Leggy, working way too hard behind the scenes, doing things. Asuka, I'm glad there's only one of you. I don't know if the world could handle two. I'd be concerned. Yeah. What? So what? Where do we go? What do we do? We're not done. There's more. There is more.
Every once in a while, you get a pair that wants to do a midnight race.
Yeah.
So we have a midnight race. Well, hold on. A 12:01 a.m. race.
Who scheduled something for 12:01 a.m.? What sort of wired Oh, it's Tybalt. Never mind.
Tybalt and Couch 23 will be racing over on the Free Enterprise channel. So this has been an amazing race, but do not spoil it for them. You spoil, you get the bonk. Scala's newspaper hurts.
Have you seen her new spray? Have you seen it? The newspaper?
On her birthday, but we're running out of time before the raid goes away.
Oh, God.
Get kicked out. Bye!
The newspaper's magical. Run and hide, everyone. Good night.